Hi, my name's Dave Kerr, and I'm the writer and director of Go Away.
My name is Amber. I am the producer, special effects artist, and I play Pink Mask in Go Away.
Hi, my name's Zach. I play the Gary Dando.
I'm Michael McGlynn. I am the producer, and I also play Green Mask.
Hi, my name is Brendan, and I played Robert No Balls in Go Away.
There's something I never told you about my family.
Hey, baby sis. Mark.
Look at you!
Oh, hi, I'm Mary. My mom is the only survivor of the Blue Ridge Butcher murders back in the 80s.
Cheers.
It's not something you brag about. So many people died. It's like our family's dark little secret.
We got a 911 call from this location. Just checking to make sure everything's all right.
We're gonna play a game. It's a common game. I'm sure you know it.
Whoa, hey, I didn't see anything.
You're gonna go hide. And we're gonna look for you. When we find you, we're gonna kill you.
You stay here and play this game their way, you're just gonna wind up dead. I say we all run through that door as fast as possible.
They're all out there. They'll catch us.
If you can make it past us to one of those exits, you get to live. If not, well, that's where the fun begins.
So, Go Away is a home intruder film, but with a twist. We want to mash up the new age intruder films with old school horror films like the 80s slasher films. And Go Away centers around a family dinner that's interrupted by a group of masked intruders who take the dinner guests hostage and force them to play sadistic games.
I actually started off originally as a perk buyer. I bought a perk to be in the film Bloody Summer Camp, just because it was kind of on my bucket list. I always wanted to be in a horror movie, and camp slashers were one of my favorites, so it was kind of like a perfect realm. And I got to play Roger in the perk in that, and just after constantly always being around Dave and constantly bugging him and just never leaving his side, he decided to just make it official, and eventually he brought me on to be his producer. Ever since that point, I've been a big fan of what Dave and Amber have been doing, and not only that, like all the friends we've been making on these films. I just haven't looked back, and I've just been absolutely enjoying it ever since, and I've been doing it now for I think I'm coming up on 6 years now.
All the way back, I think my brothers and I actually have it on camera, like a home video of us acting out the children's book, The Giving Tree. Um, and then pretty much going all the ways. I grew up across from cows, so I was very eager to just be anybody else by the time I was able to start traveling around to theater. Went to school, fell in love with it, just started delving into it, started doing community theater, then reaching out into indie films, and I met Dave from Slasher 15 back in 2018 or 2019, I believe. So still just history since then. We just keep chugging along.
I mean, if we're gonna go all the way back, like Zach, childhood, was crushing those plays in preschool. Billy Goat Gruff, as the troll. So smash that. Such a convincing performance. I had to take a couple years off. Took a lot out of me. And then, but yeah, no, didn't do a whole lot of anything. High school, community college, started picking up some like stage plays and things like that. Would do some short films and things like that. Eventually, kind of just found myself seeing the casting call for Dave's film, Bloody Summer Camp, um, and took a couple of auditions, but then, I finally warmed up Dave's heart, and so he decided to, let me in on his movie, and kind of similar to what everyone else has been saying. Just kind of just been rolling on with it. Dave specifically just wants all of his actors to be bald now, though, so it's a really, but yeah, no. So yeah, do this short films theater on the side, but yeah, just a little bit of everything. But yeah, that's kind of how I kind of fell into this world as well.
I've been here since the beginning with Dave, since last year 15, obviously. Acting is not a central focus for me. I do act in some of the films, but my main roles are behind the film. I do producing work and I do special effects, which is where my passion lies.
I started out making music videos on YouTube with a band that I'm in, and that kind of evolved into the horror realm. My favorite like subgenre of horror is the '80s slashers, and I wanted to do a music video that was an '80s slasher inspired music video. It ended up turning into a short film, which ended up turning into a full length film. Ended up being the first film that we ever did was Curse of the Slash Nurse. We did that with no experience with a $2,000 budget. It kind of became a challenge because on top of wanting to make, you know, the music video, um, I always talk about how we watch these films that have these multi-million-dollar budgets, and they're just, there's some that just don't look like they're good at all. They just it does. You wonder where they put the money. And my original challenge with Kerosene Slash and Earth was I thought that I could take a film with no experience and no budget, and it wouldn't be as bad as some of the films that I've seen that had multi-million-dollar budgets. So that was the original goal of my first film, was it would not be the worst film that you've ever seen. From there, once we did the first film, it became a goal for me to make it better, because after we figured out the first film, I started to get into it and really liked doing it. We decided to make a sequel, and with the sequel, I wanted to just show that everything that I learned from the first one, that I could take that and make a better film. And that's just kind of been our goal for every film now. Is every film we try to outdo ourselves and we try to make a better film. And so far, I think we kind of kept with that. I think we've kept with that up to now. So I have nerve damage on one of my fingers.
To piggyback off of Dave's, nerve damage and all that sucked for Dave, obviously. Obviously, let's start there. But that got us. Let's say the dominoes started falling, and me and Zach went out to go grab food for everyone because it was just we were waiting for Dave to get back, and we were talking, and once again a little joke, just saying like, it'd be funny if we could do something, and we decided to text Amber and say that Dave needed a fanny pack for this film, and Amber was confused by this, but she just was like, okay, I'll bring a fanny pack, and lo and behold, Zach's character in the film wears a fanny pack, and that was all created from Dave slicing his hand and giving us free time and letting us just kind of just to see what would happen if we requested a fanny pack for the film. And you'll see a fanny pack in this film. Zach kept having snacks in the fanny pack for when we were in between takes. If you wanted a cookie or celery stick, you went to Zach for all the good snacks. But yeah, so really honestly, that slicing of Dave's finger was really a blessing in disguise, honest to God, truth be told.
The bright green fanny pack met well with the aesthetic of the whole film.
The film really, that's when the film really took off right there.
They were sneaky, man. They told Amber that I said Zach needed a fanny pack. Then I get back and I'm like, why the fuck does Zach have a fanny pack? And they said Amber said that Zach needed a fanny pack. And at one point I asked Amber, like, well, I was like, I hate that fanny pack. And she's like, well, you're the one that's told him to wear it. I was like, no, I'm not. And come to find out, they both told each of us that we wanted the fanny pack in the film.
I'm going to piggyback off Dave's finger gun a little. The owner of that knife was one of our leads from the film, Matthew Sharp, Sharpe. And he just so happened to write it on his name on the box that the knife was in. When Dave came back, he noticed the name on, didn't see the E at the end. Dave just yelled out, "All right, who's the smart aleck who wrote Sharp on the knife?"
One of my favorite things is that when we were filming at the house, we rented this giant like plantation type house, and a lot of the cast and the crew stayed there, and it was like a full week that most of the cast and crew were staying there, and it was just kind of it was almost like a real world type thing where they were all, in between filming, everyone was just kind of staying in the house together. So it was a lot of fun getting to be around and hang out with everyone in between all the filming.
You don't get a lot of projects where you get to have the entire cast like all there at once, for a product or a project like this. And yeah, getting to spend a whole week around people that you just became very, very close with and enjoying time with. And Brendan and I, especially, we got to learn a little bit more about tech one of those nights where we were trying to figure out how to go to sleep and making jokes about how the house was haunted. And we, for the love of God, could not turn off one of the light bulbs that was in the lamps in one of the rooms that we were trying to stay in, and come to find out that it was one of the equipment bulbs that, like, you have to turn it off with a remote. And we even pulled it out of the thread and held it up, and it's still shining bright.
We are all so close, and getting to hang out with each other while shooting a film.
One of the big things I've always said I love about working with Dave and Amber is that you will definitely see a lot of familiar faces in our films, but you also see a lot of new faces too. And a lot of those new faces end up becoming new regular faces of ours, and always felt like a big giant family that just keeps growing. I think that's one of the things I love most about the Slasher 15 production.
Also, we all do our own stunts. Dave's got footage of someone here falling downstairs and getting kicked by someone with boots who's in the dark right there.
I would fall down even if no one asked me to.
I hope that what they take away is something that I try to stress every time that we do any kind of crowdfunding. We're 100% crowdfunded, and this film is as good as it is, whether you think it's great or don't think it's great. The quality that it is was based on the budget that we were able to raise. Since Go Away, we've almost doubled our budget for slasher videos. Go Away was under $40,000, and then Slash Nurse we got a little over 70,000. We do the absolute best that we can with the budget that we have, but the more support we have, the better films that we can put out. I'm very proud of Go Away for what we were able to do with the budget that we had, and I hope people see this film and they see, what we put into it with what we had, and I hope that they consider supporting us so that we can give you better films. Because the more support we have, we always put 110% into our films, everything that we've got. The more we have, the more that we can give.
All you have to do is go follow Dave's track record, like on crowdfunding, see what money he got for those films, go watch those films. And I'll tell you right now, I think Dave has come through on flying colors on everything that he promises. I mean, you go look at Curse of Slashers, and then you go look at Return, then you go look at Bloody Summer Camp, then you go see Go Away. I mean, every one of those, the budget just kept on getting a little better. We kept chipping away and getting a little more, and I think it really shows. And I can't wait for Slashers to come out. Because I really think that's going to really show even a new higher pinnacle for us. And we definitely couldn't do this without all the supporters and all the backers out there. And it really does mean the world to us. And I really hope that's one takeaway you will get from seeing Go Away is that, wow, like, yeah, if these guys get a better budget, we're going to get a better.
Indie film making is super tough, especially when when you stick to a specific genre, such as like thriller and slasher, and then combining the two in this production at Go Away is honestly it's something that came together really well. And it's a difficult thing to do. Dave mentioning earlier about how he set out doing it in the past was to try to do it with a very very low budget to kind of just show like, hey, look, everybody's got to start somewhere. And just seeing the way that Slasher 15 has progressed through its stages of crowdfunding and just getting a lot of notoriety. I mean, we're reaching overseas now to people in different countries that are following and backing us, and it's a really nice thing to see. And I'd love to see more of that going on as we continue.
I want people to see an appreciation for indie filmmaking and non-Hollywood horror, and see, where indie is the roots of true filmmaking, where we're not bending to the will of commercial and things that people have seen a million times, and to appreciate practical effects again too.
We have the Slasher Nurse coming up. That is a remake of our first film, Curse of the Slasher Nurse. And that film has a lot of awesome people in it. And we're actually having the premiere for it in February, and hopefully it'll be out on streaming services and physical, sometime hopefully by summer of next year. And we are currently running a post-production crowdfunder for Bloody Summer Camp 2. We finished filming that. That's got Joe Bob Briggs in it, Diana Prince, Melissa Rose, a lot of killer celebrities in that. And like I said, we finished filming that in October, and we're running the post-production crowdfunder for that right now.
Follow us at Slasher 15 Productions on Facebook as well. That's where we get all of our big updates about what's going on with us, what we're doing. Also, we will announce any auditions for any films that we do in the future. It's a great way to keep a track of us. Like Dave said, we have the Slashers premiere coming up February 8th. If you are in the Virginia area, more so in the Winchester, we actually have 2 showings. We sold out the first one, and I think it was like 30 hours. So we got a second showing, and that one, I think we've probably sold about maybe 35% of the seats in that one. So there's still some seats going on. So if you're in the area, come check it out. And of course, Bloody Summer Camp 2, that was an insane film. I'm super excited for that one to come out. I really am. I love the first one, and I think the sequel is going to be a really, really good, true worthy sequel to the original. And I can't wait for that to come out. And our crowdfunder is still live. So come on out, support. There's plenty of things that we could still do. We have some reshoots we want to do. There are still plenty of things we can do to make this film better. So if you can support, please support.